That's a great jumping off point. Let's move into the Spurs offseason. Strictly ball business. We're here to talk about what the Spurs should do this offseason. Are they targeting free agents? Are they looking at the draft? Are they moving around guys? What do you think they're doing? What's their priority?
I think the Spurs' priority is bulking upon what they have now. Last year, they traded Derek White, who was a good young player for them, and they kicked the can down the road. And they have a good, solid shooter, it looks like, in Josh Primo, but he didn't get a lot of playing time this year. And they really like what they have in Jakob Poeltl, and they really like what they have in Dejounte Murray. And Keldon Johnson's decent, but they need a lot more beyond those guys, and they need more at the big man position too. I think in the draft, they're looking at like a Jalen Durant. They can try and get like a big man in the draft possibly. That would be great. If not, there's also guys that are going to be out there available in free agency or trade. Could they bring in a Miles Turner? That's certainly an option as well. I think these guys are definitely looking to make the playoffs. And I think they want to bring in whatever talent necessary. If they can get a guy like Zach LaVine, amazing. If they, can't get somebody that great, we'll see. There's not a ton of talent out there in free agency, but I certainly think that they're going to be out there looking, and I wouldn't be surprised if they snatch someone up.
Yeah, I think I do lean into your Zach LaVine point, but I'm not convinced Zach LaVine will be there. They are one of the most cap flexible teams this offseason, so they can definitely make some signing in free agency. I do think their priority, they made it to the play-in. They were there. I don't think they go back from that. I think they're going to go in and try to pull more talent in. I'm content with Poeltl at the center, and I'm content, obviously, with Dejounte Murray at the lead guard, because he's shown that he's a great playmaker. He's like 8 assists a game. But and Poeltl, his advanced numbers are actually a lot crazier than his actual stats. So he really impacts the game where Popovich needs him to. So you've seen flashes in Devin Vassell, who's played decent in the minutes that he was given last year. Keldon Johnson was very inconsistent. He was either really good or terrible on the floor. So that's I do think they need some more veteran presence. I'm looking at Zach LaVine, obviously, that he'd be great. Collin Sexton.
Grab my league quick.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Collin Sexton is obviously a great point to bring in. DeAndre Ayton. I think he would be awesome. It would move Poeltl out and put him into a trade candidate type deal. But Sexton, I do think this is one spot where Sexton would fit so well.
I actually was thinking about him. Yeah.
You get shooting, you get offense. He'd be a great fit next to Dejounte Murray, and I think that, or you can also look and get some more offensive paint presence with Montrezl Harrell. I think he would fit well also in this scenario. So I think those are some guys they go after. But they got to find that second star, especially because they need that first offensive star, because that's not going to be Dejounte Murray.
Yeah, I think they're looking for a guy who can score. I think, ideally they're hoping Josh Primo can be a scorer for them, but they need more guys beyond him too. Mm-hmm. I think they really were hoping Keldon Johnson would be further along at this point. But at this point, you have to admit who a guy is. And Keldon Johnson seems like a fine player, but he's not that second star. And you need a second star ball handler. Ideally, a guy who can score, like your Collin Sexton. I think he would fit really nice next to Dejounte Murray. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I think him or Zach LaVine are home runs in either scenario. Mm-hmm. And wouldn't be surprised if they fall back and they're looking more at making a trade for like a Terry Rozier maybe. Or,
right, actually.
I don't know who else is out there. That makes a ton of sense. But I think obviously they're fine at point guard. So we're just thinking about guys who can score effectively as shooting guards. So.
Oh, yeah. Even a vet like Harrison Barnes, I wouldn't think is the worst thing in the world. I mean, they'd probably just have to match up contracts like McDermott and Josh Richardson. Who actually that's not as bad if you're looking at Harrison Barnes for McDermott and Richardson. I think the Kings would like that. They'd get some defense and some shooting and some really nice
I think that's
bets.
A fine trade that moves the needle a little bit. You bring a guy in like him, and then you draft whomever. And I think that's fine. That's probably your most likely non-sexy blueprint. But I want sexiness. I want Collin Sexton, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
That would be much better.
he would be awesome. He would be a great fit. I mentioned Ayton when you were gone too. I think this, and we talked about this would be a decent spot for Ayton to fall. It would push Podol out of the starting lineup. I don't think Podol or Ayton could play next to each other, but Podol would also be one of the best backup center in the league if you move him back there again. But
yeah, or if you really didn't want to have him as a backup, you could trade him for someone decent, because I guarantee tons of teams would be interested in a guy like him.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. But I think we'll see the Spurs very active in the free agency market. I didn't write down a draft prospect for them on who they should be looking for. I've just kind of been leaning into just they tasted the play-in. They're going to want to get back there, and I don't know who. It's going to be tough to push anyone out, especially this next year with so many people healthy. Clippers fully healthy. Maybe the Pelicans will be fully healthy. We'll see. But Pelicans made
it's
a splash,
strong. So. Yeah, it's going to be a strong West next year, I think, as well.
Definitely. I'm just here to tell you guys, like and subscribe, but please do that. Also, comment below. Let us know what you guys thought about this video. If you want to roast us, roast us. If you want to compliment us, please, I need compliments.